Hey you bees. So I haven't been out in the garden very much for the last couple of weeks. It's been so hot. It's been hot, humid, so unpleasant. I just haven't felt like doing anything. And then last weekend I smashed my toe. I dropped a door on it and totally mutilated it. So I haven't been able to walk for a week. So I haven't done any work for a couple of weeks. And in the middle of summer, when you turn your back on the garden, things get out of control very fast. So I actually have to do some work now because things are a mess. So let's get started. So this is going to be kind of this is what happens to your garden when episode, when you neglect it. And let me show you what happened to my capsicums. So here in New South Wales, if you don't net a lot of your fruit and veggies, it just gets eaten alive by fruit fly. So of course I didn't bother this year to net my capsicums and they're all eaten. Let me show you. So this is what happens when you don't net your capsicums. They get eaten and stung by the fruit fly. All stung, all ruined. Should have done something about that, but didn't. Oh well. This is what happens to your orange tree when you don't keep on top of the bugs. Look at the leaves. I'm gonna have to put some horticultural oil on that. Trim it back a bit maybe. And yes, that is a passion fruit vine growing over the top of my little mini orange tree. Gonna have to do something about that. This is what happens to your lemon tree when you neglect to fertilize it and treat the bugs. Look at the leaves. Gonna have to do something about that. This is what happens to a dying banana tree when you don't deal with it. It dies and drops a bunch of bananas on the ground. This is what happens when you don't keep on top of your basil. It goes crazy and goes to seed. Gonna have to do something about that. This is what happens to your tomatoes when they get blight. They die. Gonna have to do something about that. On a positive note, I've just noticed my raspberry plants have what looks like the start of some berries. Super excited about that. This is what's happened over this side of the garden when you don't attend to it. I've got a tomato there that's just got blight and on its way out, and climbing up amongst it is some climbing spinach, some cucamelons, and God knows what else. What a mess. I don't even know what is in there. That is cucamelon growing on to my apple tree. It's going everywhere. The ground cherries are done. I'm going to hack them right back. Hopefully they'll grow back next spring. But they've been delicious this year. This is what happens when you don't walk your dog. They dig everything up. Look at the mess. And over here, holes. They dug holes. This is what happens when you don't walk your dog. Alright, this is all tidied up. I've put in a little patio rose there. There's a climbing plant, and there's the thyme, and there's the chamomile. Now to put something over the top to keep the doggos out. They're just finding another garden bed to dig in. Mongrels. So what I've done is I've had this raised garden bed around the back. for a while, and it was full of soil that was a bit weedy. So I put cardboard over it, and the cardboard's been on top of it for quite a few weeks to try and suppress the weeds. So I've left the cardboard on, and just to try and pretty up this area, I've planted a row of those mini sunflowers. So I'll see how they go. Hopefully they'll live, and if I can keep her off it. And this is what happens when you leave a patch of bare ground. The weeds just take over. So now I have to weed it, and this is the spot where my garden pond's going to go. So I'm getting the ground ready for that. Look at this. This is the start of my native Australian water plant pond. It's a very old bathtub. I've just had 2 very unwilling participants helping me move this bathtub. It must weigh half a tonne. But it's here, and it's never going to move from this spot. Going to put some frogs, and we're going to get some little native fish and some plants to put in here eventually. It's my next project. It's really easy to procrastinate when you've got a garden, but anyway, I felt like I've achieved something around here today. I've managed to get the old bathtub around here, to start working on the pond. I've got to start fixing up all this area here. I've got to put cardboard down and mulch to suppress the weeds. All along here's got to be mulched and cleaned up. I've got to do something with those raspberry plants. But this weekend I did manage to get rid of those 2 massive banana trees that were just crushing the fence. So that's good to get that out of the way. I've got a lot of empty spaces opening up in the garden. So it's only midsummer, so there's still plenty of time to grow crops, and I need to go inside and have a think about what I can plant. I did manage to tidy up this little corner, just sweep up the mess, tidy some plants. They're my little sunflowers I planted a couple of weeks ago. Aren't they pretty? And just generally make some sense of this corner, because it gets a bit overgrown sometimes. The dogs are in trouble because they've been wrestling and someone's got a laceration underneath their eye. That's going to require a trip to the vet. And it's not who you suspect. It's this idiot thinking she could wrestle with the pups, and now she's got a cut. And she's feeling sad and sorry for herself. We'll clean it up and we'll get you to the vet, honey. By the way, this is Archie. He's not my dog. We're just visiting. Hey Archie. How are you, mate? Are you good? Are you good? Alright guys, this is the end of it. This is where I've cleaned up about 1/3 of the strawberry patch. It's taken me a while to do that. To dig all the suckers out, separate them, give them some space to breathe. I've still got that side to go. So I've got to go inside. I've been out here for quite a few hours and I have to take care of the mess inside the house. But I did feel like I achieved a bit today. It was the first day I've been out in a couple of weeks. I've got so much work to do. It's overwhelming. But anyway, I have done some things today. I've managed to relocate all of these strawberry plants that I'll be trying to overwinter around the back here. So the strawberry patch, I've just let go nuts, and of course it's a mess and there's just plants suckered everywhere, and because of all the rain and humidity, all the strawberries are going soft. So I've spent about the last 2 hours just cleaning it up. I've only managed to get about 1/3 of the way around, but at least I've made a start. Well, that's it guys. That's the end of the weekend and the end of the time I've got in the garden. Back to work tomorrow. I hope you all have a great week. See you later. Bye Isla. Bye Isla. Bye my girl. See ya.